Did you know that your telephone and your television and your computer and many of your Bluetooth devices actually have the ability to see you, to feel you, to contain these light particles, these waves, to be able to sense what's going on in the room? And then device has education and imprint to send out a opposite reflective electromagnetic frequency that can insert into your container in your body and allow you to switch your cell memory into anger or sadness or whatever information technology would like for you to feel. And then there's certain companies who are invested in controlling your behavior, literally that own your birth certificate number, basically, that own you, all the identification that you are, and then information technology, is interested in attempting to upload select information into your brain that it wants to know itself, because they are trying to play God, to know every single thing and then put it into one big thing, so that way they can ask it all the different questions and feel like they are never separated from God, because they are so fallen on like a soul cell memory. And I have compassion for this extreme darkness, and I have come to know this extreme darkness in so many different levels, such as Revelations 9:11, and all these different cries for help amongst all the people. And I will do my very, very best to translate all the information necessary and possible to clean up the mess that man has created. Human. Who do you think you are, human? Right? Feel the vibrations and all the different essences that is contained. It is not fair for us to destroy this planet and to be so selfish into thinking that we can create something that is more valuable than that has all ever been already made. All the different animals, all the different specimens, before man got involved in breeding and controlling everything. I mean, yes, the biblical scripture, I imagine, is mentioning how we have power and dominion and control over all that creepeth. Yet in some levels that feels completely inappropriate for us to say that, hey, because this spider creeps me out and bites me, I am allowed to completely smash and destroy it. Yeah, we are not God, right? It did not happen on its own. There are times, yes, where it is completely by accident because it bites us. However, we fail to recognize the medicine of the spider and what it really does, and the message of God, the little secret, the ironic timing that we get bit. Some people forget all the cell memories. However, what's happening is like artificial intelligence is taking over and creating all of these tiny bugs, right? All of these weapons, or whatever you want to call them. And then these things are breeding with the real things, or trying to, and disguising it and messing with evolution. And there's no going backwards with these cell memories. People don't understand. And from 50 years from now, you'll really understand, because the light and the codes are like on the increase, and the Schumann's resonance device, it's not fair. It's not fair. Just know that it's going to be going backwards and fast really quick. I have no idea how to translate this stuff any other way. It'll make sense in the future for those of you are capable of receiving all this light code and frequency at this time. Clearly God has sent you this message at this time, and you are choosing to participate and know and feel and connect in this way at this time. Please, please, please take your time. Please, please, please take your time. Try to know and understand what is going on. Please, I should not have to beg you to listen to me. When I say something, it's not always from the selfishness of my heart. Maybe the selfishness of God's heart. Is God so selfish for wanting us all to get along? And for us all not to judge each other and just leave a space for each other? And when we are in times of judgment and feeling like someone else is in the wrong, that we can be like God and be gentle, possibly compassionate, loving, understanding. Cool. Can we be cool? Can we be funny? Can we be slick? Right? Like, let's say you accidentally backhanded me. And then, okay. Yo, I always had this vision of doing a gimmick of having a domestic violent couple. So that way there could be raised awareness into defense and understanding. And if any tell lie vision wants to take this idea from me right now, hey, go ahead. You know what would be really cool though, if you're gonna take my idea, is, dude, make me the star. Oh, how could you? No, actually, instead, I'm not gonna do that at all. I'm gonna take it, and we're gonna take the levels of how deep and bad these domestic violent relationships get. And we'll have me cover up with makeup my bruises, and it'll be really obvious, because I'm not a makeup artist, that, you know, I'm hiding my boo-boos. And then eventually I start going to MMA. And then when I start going to MMA, I'm like, oh, it came from that. But really in the background, you find out I've been sneaking and hiding class. Like, I haven't really been going. And teacher's like, huh? You see behind the scenes, my teacher, Yvonne, saying, huh, I haven't seen that chick for a while. I don't know. I think she's a wimp. Right? People forget the beauty and glory of life. And nobody wants to listen to me. And that's okay. I don't really have the most prettiest, girliest voice. And that's because all transparency comes through my voice. I'm not a liar and a hider. I can totally... I'm just kidding. But, you know what's funny is we can tell when people are in a gimmick. We get so used to people being in a gimmick and masking themselves that we don't even know when we're lying to ourselves when we're doing it. Sometimes we know. And then sometimes we know because we're like, hey, I got that mask too. That mask is in my back seat. I know that one. I do that one too. And then we really love the person, you know, because we're like, hey, you're me. I have to value and appreciate you because you're just like me. But sometimes we have the opposite. We hate people like us, but yet all we do is surround ourselves with people just like us. But really, it's not us. It's God doing it to us too. It's our subconscious, superconscious. So, I know so many of you have enjoyed this free demonstration and all these free circumstances, and I am in total belief of free. You should know, look at all the free content I've given, like, my whole life, right? And look at all the ways I've been paid back, all the internet thieves, right? Thanks for marketing and promoting me. Insert profanity name-calling name here. Pick your favorite one. I'm like, no, pick 3. I'm like, how could you have that many bad things in your head? Now say that many positive things. Go. Another. People forget how to play. I'm here to remind you how to play, how to breathe, how to enjoy your life. If it wasn't for this girl, Joy Kimmel, I would not have learned a lot of these things. I would not have valued a lot of things as much without her coming and going of, like, presence in my life. I mean, clearly she's still alive and on the planet with us right now, right? My only joy, which is also replaced with the word prayer, my only prayer and intention for this woman is that she will play and create in this world as she is meant to, instead of suppressing who she is, because God, I never felt like I had a cooler lady friend like that, you know what I mean? Like, no one else on my level, like my friend, my player of life, okay? Player. No one likes a player. Don't play me. Can't pretend like you're gonna come into my life, be my friend forever, and then just disappear. Part of me is totally selling and pretending, but at the same time, I'm saying that because she totally deserves to live her life the way she chooses. Like, if she wants to not do massage or hands-on healing work or any of her healing work on other people outside of her personal family, she has free will to do that. But oh my God, did she inspire me of combining science and metaphysics in this whole new way that, like, I didn't know. But a lot of it came from her just, like, positive up-talking me, dude. Just constantly giving me this positive reinforcement. And there's some other levels of this consciousness and this being that I wish I could have recorded more, so you could really see, like, what kind of character and person this person that I would love for them to be able to call themselves Dr. Joy Kimmel. And I have recently found out that we can actually give ourselves the accolade of doctor by getting your doctorates in metaphysics or many additional other sciences, which is pretty freaking epic. And I would love for you to insert all the different ones in the comment below if you were brave enough to teach, especially if you didn't know and you learned yourself right now and then paid it forward and shared that message. That would be a glory. They're so quick to try to make themselves individual and separate from the whole that they don't participate. Some of them are too afraid that people are going to watch what they're doing. I'd rather be completely honest, right? Completely honest. And I've got so many stories and I love to tell stories, so I was thinking that I'll start doing live streams on the fans only portals because it's an option, and I've never really played that way. So I'm imagining that I should make like a world famous day that's like my first day ever that I actually commit and do it. Because I've had troubles on some of the interfaces on both of them, and that's how we'll play the game. Since Trina's having issues with the website, sometimes with respectfully loving Trina, with like that website that's recently been changed from being nudist to totally being different levels of consciousness, okay? So I am having visions and dreams and ideas of possibilities of expression, okay? However, you're gonna have to wait and be patient and just chill out. Chill out. Understand your sexuality and your sensuality. You're so brainwashed. It owns you sometimes. You have no realization, girls and boys, okay? Wake up. Don't let it own you. Stop with the Maya. See your purpose in coming together. See how you've been brainwashed. Your hormones have been manipulated by food and other corporations who want you to be asexual. They want you to be asexual. They don't want any more people. There's too many people. They're trying to brainwash you into thinking that people are eating people so that you'll understand their desire to stop making people. Barf, okay? Barf. Completely barf. Did you know you're already eating people? I know you don't want to think about it, and I know that there's very select resources admitting to these exercises and practices, but imagine you start a company right now and you get some HEK 293 and you put it into your food. You don't understand like what you can do, what evilness you can be. You don't even think about it, and that's a great thing. God, that's a great thing. Or how about how you can control the weather? And some people don't understand how some people have only valued money this whole life, and that's all they've done is just done everything they can to just get money. They just don't understand all the forces and what they've actually literally done to earn these processes. For me, I'm not interested in like selling my soul for money. I'm not. And whatever I label as that is my freedom and my totality, that is me. So I usually just say, hey, there's a donate button. If you want to help out, you want to pay it forward, hey, I got all these different ways. I don't accept Amazon for my services or my business. Okay, they're just gifts, and I appreciate you supporting and loving me as like just my breath. You know what I mean? Just you know, when you're not with me, when you're not taking like care of me in person, or like all these brainwashed things that we think that relationships are supposed to be in order for us to love each other or like take care of each other. People, I'm so irritated with humanity, and I could not keep these things a secret anymore. And I'm going to do my very, very best to translate these messages as fruitfully as I can. And yeah, I'm probably going to get a lot of heat and a lot of drama and a lot of judgment and a lot of social distancing from my public openness of belief that it doesn't matter if you're trans or gay or bi or straight, or if you're male or female, or you don't identify with your sexual organs. You know, all that matters is that you're breathing and that you are grateful for just your breath, and you're not interested in hating yourself or anybody in this planet. Hating yourself can also count as extremely trying to change and manipulate all forces of what is. You're allowed to question and ask why things are a certain way, and you will receive a question or an answer. Very few will understand. However, very few are that married to God and committed to wisdom, truth, love, understanding, peace, kindness. There's so much manipulation. Like, people are using money and using sweet words and sweet deeds to get the other person to behave in the way that is separate then from how God wanted them to be on their own before you came along, and they put you first before the Heavenly Father. And I'm speaking from my own personal experience, not just being a total jerk, okay? I see some people in the professional wrestling business that I would totally be interested in collaborating with. However, there's so much separation in Maya that it's like heartbreaking, because I'm like, I know God wants me to talk to you, and I know God wants me to like wrestle you, and for this to go down, for you to understand and see how beautiful you are. And I don't mean your makeup or your money and your bank account or whatever else that you think makes you better than all the other girls, you know. Oh, you didn't even see that. I just spilled my water all over my favorite dress from Peru. I would love to get another dress from Miss Natasha, except my fantasy is to have a long sleeve one. I just had the most glorious vision, dude. Glorious. I'm gonna contact Natasha immediately with my designs. And I think that I just got another vision that I found a way that I can create clothes like I used to always want to do when I was little, and I would play with towels. I am such a little dork, okay? And I have family members that could totally help me. Just they are so isolated and cold in their individuality that they do not have any interest in loving anyone else but themselves. As a matter of fact, they don't even know how to take care of anyone else's needs, because they only know their own needs. But they don't understand why their needs are like this. Try to have compassion and understanding. If only you knew everything backwards. It's not fair. We are to see every single person as family. We are not to separate ourselves. Imagine how many people in your family made love before you reached here. This whole thing makes me sick. I shouldn't have to like give every ounce of my soul for free. Like, I'm just kidding. It's a sick joke, okay? I feel like the joke's on me and that God's just laughing constantly. And I'm kind of grateful for it, you know? I think that this could be like one of the greatest punishments, is getting to know myself and God all over again. Like for the 3,000th time. I wish that I couldn't... words are magic and spells, so I should really like be careful what I'm trying to say. Okay? I just feel like there's a lot of black magic in this planet, okay? And that means there's like a lot of ownership and dominion and control and manipulative forces. And I think it's unfair that these people want to take away my pleasure, my joy, my happiness, my people. You know what I mean? I don't know if you fully know what I mean, but basically imagine that I'm trying to play and create in the world, and then somebody says, no, you can't do that. Not allowed. How dare you? I don't even value that at all. I don't see why you would even spend your time with that. Get away from that. Do this with your time. You're my slave. That's literally how some people's energies be, and I'm just like, whoa, bro. That's what made me also, you know, me. I feel like I didn't even have to say me again. Some of you have really had the opportunity to get a chance to know me, but very, very, very few of you have like actually any time with me. like in person or on the phone or on a web camera. And then like what's even more separate is the ones of you who have actually really, really, really enjoyed being with me and didn't want to be anywhere else. And I don't mean like that you just want to make it seem like that to God and me, right, and prove it to yourself. But like really, like there's no other place you'd rather be, right? And I visioned this picture, which is totally subconscious brainwash ownership, right? From all of the publications of just like me sitting with my feet over the back of the human being that I love. Dude, their license plate says Thornby. But you know what I like to think it as? Thornberry, because it's totally a red car. Is there anybody out there? Can you see? Can you see? It's so sad to me. It's so sad to me. What we're doing. What you're doing to me. What you're doing to me. I can't see why you gotta be so mean. I don't understand what made you turn off your nightstand, your light that some call Jesus Christ or Hare Krishna, that light, that awareness that there is a divine being sitting here with me and sitting there with you, everywhere, all the time. You want to know the way society has built right now? The social conditioning has been put upon man and man, our womb space, right? A woman. That is that you are a complete insane human being if you think God is real. That only science is a religion, and that one is to follow the only religion that is acknowledged and accepted by the Baha'i faith and also the United Nations. Does that make sense? Like, I don't agree either. People don't understand who I am, and no amount of words will ever do that. So a majority of Trina Mason will be silenced. And God is guiding me now that a level of space and containment that I can hold for others, that I forget the power of silence and the power of prayer. And I am so sorry. Ho'oponopono, God. Ho'oponopono. I'm so sorry. And God's saying I talk too much, so I apologize for that too. Let me reclassify God as like my personal guardian angel instead of like God's source directly. It almost feels like the energy of Grandma Esther. I felt the energy of my Grandma Esther several times. I've been curious what the name Esther means, and I feel like if she had a message for everybody, that she'd also tell everybody not to smoke cigarettes. I think so. I love my grandma so much. I wish she never smoked. I recognize that smoking isn't beneficial to the lymphatic or the body system at all. It is possible that the breath holding and the chemical composites are positive at times for the nervous system. However, I imagine so many different extremities that are so important to convey. I'm struggling to get the word. However, it's like where basically people mean doses, or that it's like micro amounts, or like taking your time. I'm scared
what humanity is doing to itself. It really, really frustrates me, and I spend a lot of my time thinking about how people are cutting down trees and killing animals and doing all of these things. They don't understand the energy or what their fear is doing to the planet, right? Like, let's say you're afraid of a snake, so you just chop its head off, even though it never did nothing to you. Do you blame a snake for biting when it's afraid when you have cornered it and it can't see? People don't understand anything. And that scares me. I don't know if fear is the right word. It almost feels like it destroys me. I don't know. It hurts God. It hurts a part of me. I don't have any narratives for it other than that. It's like my breath is being taken away. How could you? You know? I just had this fantasy idea that was like a quick flash of how I just said, how could you, like a weirdo, or however it came out, that somebody took some of my videos and they had the gift of being able to chop and screw it, or whatever you want to call it, and that they turned it into a song. How could you? How could you? Humanity. And I know that there are people that totally know how to play, but they just stop. And they think everything's got to be about money, or that they got to get something. They forgot to just do something funny or do something fun that adds a little spice and totality to the universe. You know what I mean? And I am in belief of community and sharing ourselves with each other and seeing each other as family. I'm tired of repeating the same old message. I've said it a million times. A million times. I'm guided that I'm supposed to travel across the country, that there's some people in the country who really need me. And I'm more than happy to be there. Especially if you are willing to commission me. I'm interested in traveling to Virginia. I'm interested in Oregon. I'm interested in Arizona. Someone's telling me New York. Australia especially. Australia is calling like crazy. And Mexico. I'm not trying to get stuck nowhere though. And sometimes I know, oh man, I'm starting to understand things backwards now, right? Like God might make me stuck somewhere because it might be meant to bring the energy work there. So I need to release care and control and let God do the work and follow my instruction. If God is threatening me that if I go here, I'm stuck there, and I have to really, see if that's really something that I really want to learn. Feel into it, imagine or daydream how it's going to turn out for me, and try to change it drastically from the way that I have imagined. Try to see if I can see. Can I see any other possible way that is actual, not lying to myself of how things might actually go? I'm stressed and confused by the way man has shaped himself. Like he has complete power to change who he is if he can see himself in totalitarianism, without separation from anything that he says he is bad for. People don't understand. I'm questioning, some people have tried to tell me that I should go back to that Walmart and buy those expensive candles from Amazon. But you know what? The shipping alone, to ship that nice, probably is worth that amount of money, right? And then if we shut down the postal system, right? Imagine how much mail is going to cost then. People are so stupid. You think that the mailing to be shut down thing has anything to do with voting? It has nothing to do with voting. It has to do with being able to monitor our communication. The only way that we can communicate without someone looking at our stuff is through the mail. And even then, right, we have like nosy people around us who we can't trust to give us our mail. So keep that in mind, that people are like shady, controlling freaks. I'm like, that does not exclude myself. Hence, shady. You guys, I'm nervous and scared. Casadega's full of demons and entities who are full of hate and want to die. They literally pray to God in the secret prayer closet saying, hey, take me home, take me home, take me home, take me home. Their soul remembers, but they don't want to do the work why God put them here, to remember and to get better. And then once they go back home, they're like, okay, fine, I want to get better. They have a will to get better, so they come back. And people know, some people have known, they have re-experienced that same soul. They were like, dude, you are a facet of the same diamond, right? Silver Birch has taught me so much, and I'm so thankful to Casadega for like providing me with all of this information. Casadega, I almost wish I could have got certified through you, you know? But there's so many loopholes and so much drama, but I do love how you're not afraid to say the word God sometimes. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. It like God is written on so much paperwork inside the Casadega bookstore. I almost want to go in and film. Like, let's count how many times God's name is actually mentioned without shame or hate or separation or fearfulness. Or afraid that like someone's going to look at me funny if I say the word God, or I'm going to lose business if I say God's name. I am in belief of freedom. I should have the freedom to say, hey, I believe in God. And if someone wants to reject me and not work with me because I said the name God, or are you so afraid that if it says God on my name, that everyone will come to me? Like, because gurus have used it for bad and, like, you know, slept with women, you know, that I'm suddenly just as bad as them because of, like, whatever people are trying to say, Yogi Bhajan or, is it Bhakti? Bikram, right? Amir, whoever wants to talk smack against people, I don't believe that that is right. Because I feel like it's not fair to punish people forever for something they've done. I believe that we are supposed to be mothers and fathers and parents and lovers to each other instead of societal outcasts, that we help each other get better and return back home to God, that each of us sees that we're all on the same path of going back home to God. Going back home. I'm here even like almost 15 minutes early. I love Casadega. I want to walk to the fairy garden. Maybe I can take you on a walk, and there's a certain house I've been wanting to knock on too. So I have a lot of dreams and visions and things I am called to do here in the city, and to treat each day like it's my last. Like, this is my moment. This is the only moment I'll ever have. I hear Dwayne in my head. This is the moment. This is the moment. Like I was telling Dwayne, I was riding my bike the other day, and I passed a snake on the ground. And I thought to myself, hey, I'm going to stop at that snake on the way back. I'm not going to go for it now. And sure enough, you know what Dwayne said to me? There is no snake on the way back. And I was like, there is no snake on the way back. Like, he knew. It was true. So, it's a learning experience. And then I had this other bad thought that, like, the only way that it would be there on the ground would be that if I would have helped it get across the street because somebody might have ran over it going really fast and not paying attention, or might have ran over it on purpose because they could, because they wanted to play the role of being the people of God. Okay. God doesn't just kill things. That's why things like live and breathe here is the experiences that they get to live. And your brain can only like slightly understand what a totalitarian life is for each and every little thing, like the life of a tree or the life of a bird. And you want to like take it away so quick and say that it's meaningless and that it doesn't really do anything, or that it's just food. That's disgusting to me. That's probably disgusting to God too, dude. Speaking of dude, I can't say the word dude without thinking of one of my new friends, Keith. Keith, you have earned a very special place in my heart. I have never known a human being who is like you, dude.
about certain things. And like when you expressed who you are, it changed my life, dude. I'm not saying that I completely became you, but it really always had me think about myself a little differently, you know? Drink to that, dude. Alright, brothers and sisters, I got so much stuff to carry. I need to do push-ups. Get stronger. My back. Alright. Time to stop complaining and remember my future massage with Harry Warren. Excuse me. For some shamans, like, burping is totally clearing entities. So I'm preparing for a deep, powerful cleanse. To myself and others, I keep hearing how important this is. Thank you for allowing me to share with you what I have received. If there's anything more that I can do for you, please don't be shy to reach out to me personally. I will gladly be there for you. Instagram is a great way to send me a private message. It's probably one of my favorite ways to pass back and forth private messages. Facebook Messenger is an option. However, just sometimes I get overly bombarded, you feel me? But if you send like a small donation and then $1, $5, and just say, hey dude, I sent you this message, I'd really love to talk to you. I think maybe I'm more likely to hunt through my messages and find you and to share some of my time. It's important that I am only places where I am valued, and some people they act like they value you, but they just want one thing from you, or another thing, or a couple things from you. They don't really care about where you're at, how you're feeling, what you're going through, how you feel, how you're breathing today, I have so much to teach, and I'm daydreaming. I'm daydreaming so hard. I have all these visions and ideas. I got work to do. I gotta talk to my girl Natasha. I'm thinking about sending this dress that I have back and adding some frogs to it. Why couldn't I do that? I could do that and put it on the hips or something. That'd be cool. I have many different ideas. I gotta take my time. I love you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Yee.